For the next session, I welcome Mr. Ramsankar Bose, sir. Sir, a seasoned software engineer professional with a bachelor degree in engineering and deep passion for social work, traditional medicine, yoga therapy, and counseling physiotherapy. He holds master degrees and diplomas in these respective disciplines, reflecting his commitment to holistic well being. He has completed psychological internships at the Institute of Mental Health, Kirpak, Chennai, and the SCARF, Ananagar, Chennai, gaining hands on experience in mental health care. During the COVID 19 pandemic, he actively contributed as a volunteer in Go TN, a joint initiative by the Banyan NGO and the Tamil Nadu government. As a freelance counseling psychologist, he specializes in managing neurotic disorders, OCD, and anxiety related conditions, while also offering like coaching to individuals seeking personal and professional growth. His current focus is on life coaching from a psychological perspective, particularly for working professionals and the population, helping them navigating life challenges with resilience and clarity. Also, we have Ms. Suganthi Tamizh here, a psychotherapist by professional, has had the privilege of building a career that spans both technical and psychological domains. She is someone who is very studious and, being a school topper, went on to earn in an engineering degree from the prestigious College of Engineering Gindi under Anna University. Her academic journey led to her campus recruitment by Infosys, where she spent 5 years as an IT professional. During her time, she was offered on site opportunities several times, but she chose to decline them, driven by her strong attachment to her country and deeper passion for serving humanity. She also works as freelancing counseling psychologist and has joined hands with the PNN NGO to educate government school students about mental health, exam anxiety, resilience, etc. With a blend of background in both technology and psychology, she brings a unique perspective to personal growth, professional development, and mental health. I once again welcome Ma'am and Sir. I request Director Sir to present a book to Ma'am and Sir.
First of all, let me thank Anna University Research Department, Director, Assistant Director, Associate Directors, and HOD professors, and all the students for allowing us to take a wonderful session on the mental wellness related topic here for the session today. So, we all know about mental wellness, mental health, physical health, right? But what is mental health? That is how that is different from physical health. These are all we know to some extent, but what exactly it is and how research scholars, you have to make use of the mental health awareness which is going to be presented today. That's what we are going to discuss now. Okay. In this session, basically, we want to cover on the awareness and some of the relaxation technique. Why relaxation techniques means the amount of load, workload, meaning the research, reading and preparation, lot of stress you people will be getting. So all those things to be overcome in an effective way. So we want to present some of the relaxation techniques, yogasanas, mindfulness practices, right, and some of the emotional intelligence. Every person is unique, right, but what is common? Unique means different. Every person is unique by talent, knowledge, and all the other things, right, but people are common in some of the areas, mainly on the emotions. So we need to understand how to handle the emotions, right. So emotional intelligence comes into a very important picture. So that also we will cover it up here. So we want actually the session to be an interactive one. For that, we want your cooperation, and in between we will be having some of the activities, very small activities that will be interesting one. Okay. So these are the things we will be covering up. And basically the coping techniques, the amount of stress or the workload that needs to be balanced with your day-to-day life activities on the project related work. For that, we need a lot of psychological inputs. That one will be presented here. Okay? And with this, I hand over the session to my fellow psychologist Suganthi. She will be taking it forward here.
A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. So, a 3-day long induction program might be tiring, mentally taxing, draining as well. And now, 3 o'clock time, after lunch, so might be drowsy as well, right? நானாக இருந்தால் ஒத்துப்பேன் கண்டிப்பாக drowsy-ஆ இருக்குன்னு. So, one thing about the session is, it's not going to be a serious, heavy input session. You're just going to sit back, relax, and have a good experience about the process we are going to explore here. Okay? So, before moving on to the actual content, let's start with a fun activity basically. Okay? This is, we call it as neurobics in psychology. This is nothing but to boost your mental energy. That is all. We have simple riddles here. So, I'll read one by one. Anyone who knows the answer, you can just raise your hands and answer it, right? The first one, I have space but no room. I have keys but no locks. You can enter, but you can't go outside. Who am I? Anyone? Exactly. So, second one, what word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? Yeah, who's that? Someone at the back? Yeah, it's short, okay? So when you add 2 letters to it, it becomes short, right? So third one, what word starts with an E, ends with an E, but has only 1 letter in it? Exactly. So last one, what comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Exactly. So, I mean, எல்லாருமே பயங்கர ஆக்டிவாக தான் இருக்கீங்கன்னு புரியுது. So let's move on to the session. Okay. Needless to say, you all in this journey since January, I guess. So obviously, you know very well about all the tasks and activities of your course. So I'm not going to go into it. Next slide. Okay. So why do you think we have this session today? For you. Mainly for you, why do you think you have a session on mental well-being? Purpose? Can anyone pass on a mic? Okay.
Because there is a lot of mental exercise doing your research work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
And
for
then?
mental health.
Okay. So then I'll ask the next question. What is mental wellness basically? What do you mean by mental wellness? Okay. A sound mind, good. Any other answers? Having
Having a positive thought towards the process.
Okay. Taking clear decisions. Okay. Did anyone think in this way? That is, mental wellness is the absence of mental illness. Did anyone think in this perspective here? No? No one? You thought? How many of you? Okay. Actually, that is not right. Okay. Because like whenever we ask such a question, define mental illness or what is mental illness, many of them would say like absence of mental illness. Okay. So mental wellness is not just the absence of mental illness, but it is the ability to use your fullest maximum potential to carry on with your daily activities, problem solving, decision making, relationships, whatever you're involved in on a daily basis. That is called as mental wellness. So why mental wellness is important for you guys? Okay. So that is because of all these reasons, the nature of your PhD journey, which is very uncertain, unpredictable, a tedious research process is involved. So while you're going through all these tough process, obviously anyone will be taking a toll on physical health as well as mental health, right? So what will you do one day if you're not feeling physically well? Okay. So even after you took rest, you didn't feel okay. So then take medicines on your own. So you visit a doctor, right? So the same question when put to mental health, what if you feel dull someday when you're waking up? What if you don't have the mood to carry on with your regular activities or tasks when you wake up? What you will do? Sleep. Okay. First thing, you won't wake up at all. You'll go back to sleep. Okay. How long will you sleep? Go to? Exactly. So what you'll do is, you'll just ignore. You won't even consider that uncomfortable feel as something to be taken care of, right? Exactly. That is the reason why we are here today. Mental wellness or mental illness, whatever, the mental uncomfortable situations are never to be ignored. They have to be considered and prioritized equal to physical health. Then only you will become successful in any of your endeavors, be it personal relationships or work or ambitions or career or whatever. Okay, so that is why we are here to quickly run through some of the basic challenges that you might be facing in this journey and psychological techniques and concepts to tackle those challenges, right? Yeah. So before moving on to the challenges, these are the statistics conducted by many mental health organizations, the survey, the results of the survey. And what it says is, so 45 to 50%, they suffer from stress, 15 to 20% anxiety and depression, 70% work-life balance issues. So again, I don't want you all to panic on seeing these statistical results and all, because once when you take care of your mental health equally compared to the physical health, you won't be facing any such issues mentioned here, right? Next. Okay. So some of the psychological challenges faced by the research scholars in India, we'll be taking a deeper look now. Okay. The first one is academic pressure. Obviously, that is the first and the foremost one as soon as you enter into this journey. So, tedious process, as we already discussed, tough, full of uncertainties, unpredictabilities. So, while you are undergoing all these tough situations, so obviously, sometimes what you might think about yourself is, you might not believe about your capabilities, you might lose self-confidence. All these might happen, right? Because like this journey is not about any other engineering or a medical or normal course where you will have the books and fellow peers going through the same kind of situations, exams and all these things. You won't have such kind of nature of work here. You will be undergoing things independently on your self-directed studies and everything. So you might not be facing the same kind of challenges as your peers, right? So everyone will be having a separate timeline and separate set of challenges and issues, right? So psychologically, what we suggest for people undergoing such academic pressure is, we have something called as CBT in psychology. Okay, CBT is basically cognitive behavioral therapy. So now, as soon as you heard the term therapy, what was your first thought? Counseling, yeah. Treatment, okay. Exactly. Then, safe space, very good. Next. Advice, okay. that is the most basic one actually. Okay, fine. Next. Counseling, yeah. Counseling, advice or goes hand in hand, kind of. Yeah. Then preventive measures, yeah, very good. Self analysis is also included. Yeah. So therapy, as soon as we hear the word therapy, what we think of is there is some problem with me. So someone is suggesting me to go for a therapy. That is not the case. Therapy is not only for those who face problems. Therapy is for someone who's facing a challenging or difficult situation and they are unable to cope up with themselves. Okay, so they need someone else to maybe to make them cope up with that situation. Not necessarily a person. Music is therapy. Art is therapy. Playing is therapy. Playing with your friends, cricket or whatever. Hitting out to the gym is therapy. So all these are therapy. So therapy is not something to be afraid of, and therapy is not definitely a weakness. Therapy is a very strong move. Therapy means that you are basically aware of what you are going through and you want to come out of it in a positive way, in a more productive way. Okay? So here, previous slide. So here, to tackle academic pressure, we generally suggest cognitive behavioral therapy. So cognition, I don't know how many of you have heard about the term cognition. Cognition is something related to the thought process. Okay. So the basic idea behind cognitive behavioral therapy is your thoughts are the basic units which influence your emotions, and thereby your behavior gets shaped by your emotions. So thoughts are the basic units which determine your emotions and behavior. So when your thoughts are not in a productive or positive way, obviously what will happen? You will fall prey to negative emotions, and obviously your behavior will be maladaptive and productive. Okay? So whenever you get such negative or demotivating thoughts, what we suggest is you have to reframe your thoughts and make yourself believe about your abilities and capabilities. Okay? So few tricks, tips here. You're not your research. Yeah, exactly. So the research here you're going to do, the journey you're going to take forward is not your entire life, right? This is a part of your life. So you might face setbacks or any rough patches throughout the journey, but that doesn't determine your self-worth. Whenever you face any setback or tough challenges which you couldn't handle, then immediately don't attach it towards to your self-worth and jump to a conclusion that this is all I am, this is all I can, this is all I am capable of. Don't ever jump into such conclusions. Okay. So next is talk about it. Talk about it loud. Exactly. So whenever you feel dull or demotivated or feeling low or something, talk about it to anyone you trust, basically, be it friends, family, relationships, or us basically. That's what we are here for, psychologists, to offer not advice but guidance. Maybe it can be put in this term. So guidance and maybe some kinds of suggestive measures that can. Okay, I'm not like just kidding. Okay, so talk it out loud. Okay, so set boundaries like a boss. Yeah, most of the times major problems we face might be because of the ability of not being able to say no. Whenever our friends or colleagues or even in relationships, whenever they ask something for us to do for them, even though we don't agree with that particular task or activity or something wholeheartedly, just for the name's sake, we shouldn't hurt them and all, we will say yes and we will commit to that. Actually, basically we'll commit to that, and in that commitment you will be facing a lots of problems and issues and mentally draining tasks. So set boundaries and have clear-cut space. Celebrate micro wins. So how many of you here celebrate small successes? How many of you have the habit of doing that? Very few, right? So all others, you'll be waiting for a huge success, only then you will party it big. Is it so? Or you will never party at all? No? I couldn't see any smiles this side. Do you feel drowsy? Sleepy? No? Not interesting? Is that so? So we have to celebrate even the smallest wins, smallest achievements, smallest recognition also. Maybe your superiors would have given a slightest compliment to you. Even that also means a lot. You should, if you have received that in a WhatsApp or mail or something, you can save it and keep it in a separate folder so that when you're feeling low or when you're not confident about yourself, you can just go and revisit and be more confident about yourself, right? So celebrate micro wins. Limit comparison scrolling. Yeah, we all do this, right? Compare ourselves to each and everyone, every day, every minute, we do this. Comparison kills joy, especially in your journey. So each one is going on a different pace. Each one is working on a different task. So please never compare. When your peer submits your project work or something well ahead of the deadline, don't panic and, okay, he has submitted. I haven't even started it, or I haven't even completed. I didn't get the proper results and all. Don't ever panic about comparing yourself with others. So self-compassion. Okay, so what if one day one of your friends come to you and they rant about their problems to you? What you will do? What will be your immediate response? Sorry. Just listen. Yeah, very good. Then? Don't worry, it will pass. Okay, then? Advice. Yeah, right? Okay, then? So the common response is, you'll be kind, right? Basically, you'll be kind, okay? You won't like, idella oru prachanaya. You won't react in such a way, right? I mean, you will like try to reassure them, pacify them basically. And maybe you will try to make them aware of their own self-worth, right? You'll do that, right, to your friend. But whenever you're going through any such problem, any one of you have ever talk back to yourself and patted yourself back? Anyone? So that is basically self-compassion. Very good. Very good. So that is basically self-compassion. So treat yourself in a way how you will treat others. Okay? You also deserve that kindness, compassion, empathy, and everything. Okay? So these are some of the inputs while you feel low or demotivated or not confident about yourself. Okay? So next slide. Time management. Very tough for many of them actually. I'm not sure how many of you here are like efficient in time management. So basically, time management is not just, I'm not talking about the time management of just the academic works. Even the work-life balance matters a lot, okay? Many of us won't give the proper balance between work. I mean, I'm not sure like any of you here are doing some part-time job or something? Full-time job. That's even more challenging. Okay, so obviously you have to do your balance your work, family life, and this journey as well. So there are some time management techniques which you can like try to incorporate so that you can manage time somewhat to some extent effectively. Okay, so the first idea is Pomodoro. Pomodoro is basically for academic purposes. So we say this technique even for school students actually. So whenever you have a task which is time demanding, that is like it might take some 3 hours or more than 3 hours to complete, we can say something like that. So on hearing that itself, how much demanding the activity itself, we sometimes try to procrastinate. That is, we'll try to, I mean, you ipada panana mom. That's what we'll start to think, okay? So in such cases, what you can do is, you can apply this technique. This technique goes like this. So do 25 minutes of your, basically the task, whatever task you are about to do. That 25 minutes should be completely non-distracted. You should not take your mobile or go out for something or take a break in between. You shouldn't do anything like that. Full 25 minutes. 25 minutes is just an example, okay? So full 25 minutes of work, a 5-minute break. And again, a 25-minute work, a 5-minute break. So repeat this cycle, at least you complete around half of that activity. Once you're done around half of the activity, you can take a big break like half an hour or something. So by this way, you won't feel the mental drain of doing the task. You won't feel like procrastinating, and even the quality of the task will also get improved. Okay, so that is Pomodoro technique. So weekly review ritual. Yeah. So for academics, you can set a weekly meeting with yourself so that you can ensure you stay on track, whether you have completed the targets of that particular week, and you can set the deadlines and plannings and targets for the forthcoming week and all. Okay. So set boundaries for office hours again. So if you plan something to do today regarding your coursework or something, only that much you will have to spend for that day, and you shouldn't extend or prolong beyond that, because that will affect your personal and relationships, obviously. So stick officially to some office hours which you will be planning beforehand. Avoid perfectionism. So how many perfectionists here? I mean, perfectionist in the sense, I'm not saying I am perfect in everything, but I would like to be perfect in everything. Both the hands, I like it, yeah. So please avoid trying to become a perfectionist. That never works. No one can be perfect, obviously. And moreover, you can't be perfect in everyone else's eyes. Everyone else's perception is different. So trying to be perfectionist, of course, affects your own mental peace. So try to avoid being a perfectionist. Aim for progress. That is, this journey is all about learning, growing, not about proving your self-worth to someone or someone else, right? Me time, obviously. So how many of you give importance and priority to me time? Me time is like, I'm not asking about scrolling Instagram. No. Definitely no. So me time is doing something for yourself which you're totally engaging and involving, and once you complete or once you're into that work, you won't feel any pressure or any stress at all. That is called as me time. So how many of you have the habit of okay, that can be anything again: art, play, being with friends, spending time with your loved ones, anything can be. Me time is not like, I'm not saying you have to be alone, you have to be in solitude during the meeting. That is not the case. You can be with your loved ones, yeah, but you don't have to combine it with your pressure related works and all, activities and all. That is your me time. Okay, so please spend me time on a regular basis as possible. Next slide. Imposter syndrome. Yeah. This happens in every field actually. So basically, imposter syndrome is nothing but the feelings of self-doubt, inadequacy. இல்லை இது போதலை, எனக்கு இது பத்தலை, I'm not enough. Such kinds of feelings, and no confidence, having no confidence on yourself, and the constant fear of failure falls under imposter syndrome. Again, to tackle this syndrome, in psychology, we have something called as REBT, that is Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy. So basically, when that imposter within you starts to talk to you, what you have to do is, you have to argue back with the imposter. You have to ask the imposter, what evidence does it have to prove your incapability, whatever, low self-confidence, or prove your failures, etc. Because like you obviously know, imposter syndrome is basically, even though we have evidence of success, what that imposter syndrome person will do is, they will attribute the success to always luck and other external factors. Okay, they will not say this happened because of my hard work and my efforts. What they will do is, ஏதோ ஒரு luck somehow in the time வந்துருச்சு, next time I'm not sure, something like that. So that is basically imposter syndrome. So you have to question back to the imposter, how confident are you about my abilities? I know more about my abilities, and you're not the one who is going through all these. Okay, so you have to talk back, and you have to silence the imposter within you. Okay, so first of all, name it to tame it. How to tackle? Name it to tame it. So when you get such kinds of thoughts within your mind, you have to say, reassure to yourself that that is not you who is talking, that is the imposter within you that is talking. So once you name it, you won't believe it first of all, and you will try to argue back with that imposter. So keep a wins folder, as I said already. Whatever appreciations or accomplishments or small successes, feedbacks, whatever you get, please save them in a separate folder, because it definitely be of some use to you someday whenever you're feeling low. Everyone is figuring it out. Yes, right. So, no one can know everything, right? Even your superiors, your guides, they will be Googling for certain information. They will be using AI for certain information. So, when you feel like you don't even know some basic things, don't again jump into a conclusion that I am the one who is undergoing such things. All others around me, they are like well knowledge and well capable. I'm the one who is like very low in all these abilities. Don't jump to such a conclusion. Shift from proving to learning. As I said, so there is nothing to prove your self-worth here in this journey. It is all about learning and growing, right? Again, as I said, so this is not like any other engineering or normal degree. This is something where you will be undergoing all the activities, coursework, everything on your own pace, independently, self-directed, with minimal supervision from your guides. So, obviously, there will arise moments of isolation, loneliness, etc. So, please don't be ashamed or feel bad to be vulnerable. Okay? You can be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a weakness again. It is a very strong thing to do. So anyone whom you trust, you can again be vulnerable with, share everything deep inside you. Once you open out and talk out your thoughts and emotions, obviously you'll feel light. So that is the basic point here. So be vulnerable. Friends, peers, if not, again as psychologists, mental health professionals, anyone, you can easily approach. So participate in social gatherings. Yeah, I have heard of many people, like they will be like, I have lots of work, I can't come here. I have lots of work, I have to do this, so I won't participate in family functions or friends' parties or something. They will basically sacrifice everything to for just one particular maybe academics or whatever work or something. So don't do any such thing. Give yourself that freedom to participate in functions, gatherings, etc. So therapy, as I already said, don't feel bad to seek out for therapy. Anytime, anywhere, we psychologists are there to help you. Yeah. So, how many of you have used this term for yourself first? Stress. Stress dark. How frequently? Nowadays, even a school-going kid uses this term, right? பயங்கர ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஸாக இருக்குது, ஏன் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஸாக இருக்குது, ஹோம்ஒர்க் நிறைய கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. I have a kid, he says that. Okay, so it has become such a common term actually, not knowing the actual meaning or something like that, I would say. So stress is not that a big bad term at all. We have actually two basic types of stress. One is the positive one, that is called as psychology. We call it as eustress in psychology. Another one is distress. All the stress we are talking about is distress. Okay. So what is that? Eustress. That is the positive short-term stress which everyone will undergo, maybe during a presentation, when someone is asked to present in a meeting like this, I might be undergoing a short-term stress, anxiety, or during exams, any other meetings, any other deadlines you will have to finish off your project work or something. So all those times there comes a short-term stress which actually helps you in a productive way. When that stress comes over you, you will get motivated and you will be having more drive to achieve and do your best in whatever you're doing. That is called as eustress. So we can have eustress. That is not a problem. But when that stress prolongs, when it becomes chronic, and when it affects your daily routines and activities, then that is called as distress. That is what that is what the common term we all use on a daily basis, right? So what can be done to avoid distress, and what kinds of signs will let you know that you're on distress? Ram, next slide. So here are the physical stress. You can understand you are undergoing stress through all these types of symptoms. That is basically physical. Very first thing, your sleep will get affected. Maybe you won't have appetite at times. That might also happen. You'll be having that tiredness, fatigue throughout the day. All these are all physical symptoms. And emotional symptoms. Irritability. Everyone, I mean, a person will be like, என்ன சொன்னாலும் whatever you say எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு மாதிரி ரியாக்ஷன் வில் பி லைக் என்ன ஏன் கேட்குற அப்படின்ற மாதிரி இரிட்டபிளாக இருக்கிறது. ஓகே, மூட் ஸ்விங்ஸ், ரீசனே இல்லாமல் மூட் ஸ்விங்ஸ். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் இமோஷனல் சிம்டம்ஸ். அண்ட் ஆப்வியஸ்லி ஃபிசிக்கல் அண்ட் எமோஷனல் சிம்டம்ஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா you will like it will reflect in your behavioral characteristics. That is, as someone said, you won't wake up out of the bed, you won't want to go to your office or what a college or whatever. You won't be like interested in doing all those things which you actually felt good while doing it before that stress got into you, right? So all these are symptoms of stress. And one other thing is, there is something called as micro stress. How many of you have heard of micro stress? No one? Micro stress. The name actually suggests the meaning. Okay, so today morning I had to go for a meeting. Unexpectedly, I got stuck in a heavy traffic. That made me go around half an hour delayed into the meeting. Okay. But the meeting went well. There was nothing like I wasn't scolded by anyone or something else. But I waited so long to get into that meeting, right? And again, while going for lunch or something in a hotel or something, I was like made to wait in a long queue to get my food. And that again, even though I got the food, I ate and had my appetite resolved, etc. I waited some long time to get that food. So all these small hassles that you undergo on a daily basis, when you don't try to unwind on a regular basis, they will get piled up in your head, and these will lead to the micro stress. Okay, so what we suggest here is, on a regular basis, I mean not even daily, at least weekly once or something, you will have to do something to unwind yourselves and to de-stress yourself, right? So again, the impact on research. So if you are in distress, maybe, so if you are undergoing distress, again, your productivity, creativity, problem solving, decision making, everything will be impacted. You can't be you won't be able to do things on deadlines, and you won't be your memory and your thinking capabilities won't be that much productive, right? So please take time to unwind yourselves. Some of the techniques to de-stress or unwind or maximize your productivity, right? Mindfulness. Heard of the term? Is the spelling right here for mindfulness? Right or wrong? Double L, isn't it? Mindful? No? Not a familiar term as well, right? Okay, right. Two types of mindfulness. One is single L for full, another one is double L for full. You're having mind full of thoughts and feelings and emotions. That is one. And you're being mindful of something. That is what I've mentioned here. That is, whatever you're doing, you're putting your 100% attention, focus and concentration in that particular thing. That is called as mindfulness, which has only one L in it. The other one is keeping your mind full all the time. That is, any time மண்டக்குள்ள ஏதாவது ஓடிட்டே இருக்கும், எதுவுமே யோசிக்க முடியாது, யாராவது ஏதாவது கேட்டுட்டே இருப்பாங்க நம்மகிட்ட. But we won't even like listen to them. Okay, that particular voice won't even enter your head, right? That's what I'm saying. So practice mindfulness. We will see in detail about mindfulness in the upcoming slides. Meditation, yeah, meditation. Some might already be doing meditation, yoga, and some hitting the gym, physical exercises, workouts and all. So practice meditation to get calmness inside your mind, right? Exercise, time in nature. Yeah, time in nature really helps a lot. How many of you like have the habit of standing in the sun as soon as you wake up and all? Many of my friends do actually. That gives a lot of positive feel and good emotion as well. So do that. Take a walk in the beach with your friends, or even alone in solitude. Yeah, solitude is not a bad thing to do. Social support again. So try seeking help with your friends, peers, and psychologists. Next slide. Okay. So, Romnarama, serious information. So, fun time again. So, reversed letters game. Each of one is a proverb, well-known proverb actually. So, try reading it. Anyone is ready? Just raise your hands. First one. Right. Second one. Wait a minute. I need someone from this side. The side is like very silent. From this side, please. Second one from this side. What is it? Yeah. Right. Third one, this side. Third one. Okay. So I think most of you, you're not reading it from there. You're just remembering the quote and answering, right? Okay. Last one. Cover. Right. That's it. So yeah, I'm handing it over to my friend Ram for the few further slides.
Thanks, Suganthi. Okay, so let's understand what is yoga with respect to research scholars here. So we have designed this program mostly to suit your needs. Okay, yoga is a vast one. Yoga is a science. Hope many of us know about this already, but still, for the benefit of all the participants, I will brief about some of the basics of yoga and some of the basic asanas that can be practiced by the scholars. Okay, so yoga is a science, and it's a basic stretching and which acts on almost all the royal organs, Raja Urupukal, then endocrine glands, and then the nervous system. So this is the very basic scientific principle behind yoga, and the way of doing this is very simple and time effective nature. Okay, so it does not need much, does not consume much time. Okay, in a very short duration of time, you can achieve a lot of physical benefits by doing this simple exercise sort of nature. Okay, now any yoga, when we talk about yoga, it basically comprises of two. One is, when we start with yoga, that preliminary starts with breathing exercises. Okay, what is breathing exercise? Anyone anyone knows about this already or practicing already? Can talk? Yeah, yes, please. Mic, please.
Just like 2-3 times, and the pranayama works. Pranayama is of 3 types. So as far I know, I'm just telling, sir. Please
Excellent.
correct me.
Yep.
So if pranayama is, one is what I said. The other one is stomach, the way you breathe from your stomach.
Okay.
And the last one is you lie down flat and you breathe, and you presently like you realize the environment.
Okay.
And make you peace. This I learned in school.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So there are a lot of varieties in the pranayama. So pranayama is basically the breathing exercise. Very basic is nadi shodhana. So maybe okay. So nadi shodhana is very basic. Just I'll open up the picture. Yeah. This is again something called a mudra. This one basically used for nadi shodhana, the basic pranayama. This one anyone can do this. Okay, why it is called pranayama? Prana, it comes from the term prana. Prana means the life energy. It increases your life energy. So through inhale and exhale, what happens? The oxygen gets into the lungs, and that gets converted into energy to all the cells. So the basic life energy is prana. So when you do this pranayama, you get the maximum energy for your living. So you might have heard people in the olden ages, like without taking food, they lived for long years. So only because they are getting energy through this pranayama and oxygen process. Very basic thing. Okay. So this nadi shodhana is very basic thing. Here what you do, the nostrils, alternate nostrils, you will be closing and you will be inhaling through one and holding it for few seconds, and exhale, right, through the other. Okay. In this itself, you have lot of varieties, but the minimum thing you can follow is like close one with this thumb, right, one nostril, and inhale slowly. Then close this, hold it for 2-3 seconds, right? Then exhale. So there is a count. You might be knowing it, right? So 4 count you can inhale, hold for another 4 count, and you can exhale slowly 8 counts. So this what happens? You inhale and you fill your lungs with oxygen, and all the oxygen present in the air gets absorbed by the bloodstream in the lungs, and that is taken to all the parts of the body, right? Okay, so this process maximizes your oxygen intake needed for the body, right? So when you talk about yoga, the very basic thing is pranayama, breathing exercises. Okay, if you, why we are giving much importance to this is very simple and the maximum benefit we are getting. Okay, when coming to asanas, you take some kind of effort, even though if it is simple and small stretches you are doing with a disciplined way, even though this is even simpler than that asanas. That's the reason the pranayama gets importance. Okay, even though if you are not doing any asanas, this breathing exercise alone you should do. This will help you in a longer run. Okay, yeah. So this is very simple, and before this I just give a disclaimer. So any kind of pranayama or asana or whatever it is, when you seriously plan to start, you take a help from a master. Okay, that will be very good. So simply by hearing somewhere or watching some videos, that may not help much. Okay, even sometimes that become kind of a danger as well, because there are some contraindications. So suppose you have some kind of problem in the spine and you don't know about it, but if you start doing asana with the stretching kind of asanas, then it may give bad results. Okay, so always you go to a master and learn it properly and follow it. That will give you a longer benefit. Okay, right. So the second type of pranayama is Brahmari. So Brahmari, this is again when we do Brahmari, we do it with another mudra. Okay, so mudra, this is called Shanmukhi mudra. Shanmukhi means 6, right? So all the 6 openings we are closing and creating a sound. So maybe you can give a try. Like you have to close your ear with any finger. That is the actual Brahmari. Like close this and create a noise. You can feel it. Okay, and when you club this with the Shanmukhi mudra, this will become like this. So you close your ears with the thumb and close your eyes with index, then nose with this middle, then the other 2 with lips. Close it, but don't close it tightly, just to hold it. Okay, ear alone you can close to the extent possible. Now you just create the sound im. So there you will be having the normal breathing, and you create the sound. Then this sound creates some kind of ambience in your mind that makes lot of good thing to your head and throat. Okay, this creates a lot of benefits. So insomnia also it cures. Okay, someone wants to try here or there itself? Anyone wants to give a try? Or we all do? No response. Okay, yeah, we will try. So this one, okay. So you can do this for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, a minute, as much as possible. Okay. If you do this continuously, you will get a lot of benefits. Okay. So this is Brahmari. Yeah. So the next one is Kapalabhati. So this is a little bit of a stretching pranayama. There is a disclaimer that people who are having any heart related problems or BP, they are advised not to do this or take a recommendation from the physician. Okay, right. So how you do this? This is little bit of stronger breathing. So when you inhale, the actual breathing should be like this. When you inhale, your belly should come out. When you exhale, this belly should go in. So this is the actual belly breathing. So if you are not doing, your breathing itself is wrong. So you have to correct that first, and then you start this Kapalapati. Okay, Kapalapati means Kapalam, you know, right? Kapal means skull, and Pati means shine. So when you do this correctly and for a longer duration, like maybe over a year or two, on a daily basis, if you do this, your brain gets very shining, meaning it becomes very sharper. Okay, you can realize it. That is the reason the name given here is Kapalapati. Okay, fine. So what happens? You have to do simple steps like this. Sit comfortably, inhale slowly, and exhale fastly. Like just listen. So like this, you do this fastly. I am doing it slowly here. You have to do it faster. So like this, you can give 10 counts or 20 counts. So when you start with, you have to do it with less number of counts, and going forward, you can increase this. But you have to do this daily. If you have any health concerns, health issues, then you should not do this. Take an advice from the yoga master or physician, then you do this. Okay, this will help, certainly help for the better benefit of brain. Next, please. Okay, so these are the three pranayama that can be followed easily, right? Here we have multiple age groups. So people who are good to do the first two, it's a must. At least the first one, which is very easy, having a simple breathing, try that. Take advice from a master and do this. This will be certainly useful, not only for your studies now, it will be good for your elderly time also, but you have to do it regularly. Okay, fine. So coming to asanas. So we have lot of asanas, and benefits are huge, but what we have decided, what are the asanas that can be suited for the research scholar, right? The nature of work, what you do, the amount of time you spend, the amount of stress you get, the quantity of sleep, how it would be. So considering all these things, we have found around 7 asanas, which are very easy and simple to follow, right? So just listen, what are the things, and here what I have presented is, just on seeing this, you might get some interest. Okay, this is very simple, I can follow this, I can spend very little time, but I can get more benefit. So that kind of impression you should get. That is the reason I have put it here. Next, please. So this is Sugasana. Sugasana means, Sugam means, you know, right, comfort. So sit comfortably and make Chin Mudra, means Jnana Mudra, like this. Sit and just observe your breathing. That should be fine. So sitting comfortably is the Sugasana, nothing else, right? When you have a long study time, or reading is more, or after heavy work, you want to relax, don't do anything, simply follow this. Simply sit in a comfortable position and try this. Close your eyes, take a deep breaths, slow deep breaths. That should be fine. Okay, this is Sukhasana. What it helps mind and enhances concentration, relaxes your mind. Next, please. Okay, Balasana. So Balasana is otherwise called child's pose. Okay, this one basically children will do by default, and why it is presented here is the actual benefits is it helps to strengthen the muscles in the back as well as in the shoulders. So when you stretch for your project work for longer hours, you get a lot of physical stress. So for relaxing that, this pose will be helping you. So in between, it is, if it is possible, spend 1 or 2 minutes time for this, and this will certainly help you. Okay, so what it does, yeah, in between study sessions, you can follow this. This is just to, for a physical relief, temporary physical relief. Okay, next please. Okay, Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana, this means cobra pose, right? So we know. Okay, so why this? So when you do your work for a longer duration, always we tend to bend forward. So what happens? Your back gets affected. So there should be some balance. So in order to maintain that balance, we can follow this. Okay, this gives lot of energy as well. Okay, this also you can do whenever possible. You can try this. Okay, generally what we do for yogasana, if you do it as a practice daily 30 minutes or 1 hour, if you are following, it will be good. But the basic condition is it should be done in an empty stomach. That is the condition. But for some asanas, you need not do. But if you want to do it perfectly, you have to follow the practice that minimum 2 hours after meals of 2 hours, after taking any food, give a gap of 2 hours, and after that you start doing it. Okay, this is Bhujangasana. Next please. Paschimottanasana. Okay, so here again brain comes into picture. So what you do, this is, steps are very simple only. The pose seems to be a little complicated, but the actual thing is very simple. You sit comfortably, try to bend, try to touch your hand fingers with the toes, leg fingers, and try to bend your head to touch your knees. That's all. Stay there. Deep breathly. What happens? Your brain activities are getting increased. The blood flow to the brain is improved. Right? At the same time, your back gets benefited. So here the one point to note is you should not do it fastly. Do it very gently, very slowly. That is very much important here. This also gives you lot of help. This stress, anxiety, depression, all these things are very much reduced if we do this. Okay, Viparita Karani. Okay, this is otherwise called mudra also. So here Viparita Karani, what the basic benefit is, the blood circulation to overall body, that is improved. Okay, how when you do this, blood flow to the brain and head is improved. So doing this is step is also very simple, but here on seeing this it may look little bit difficult. Okay, you can do this with wall support as well. Simply you lay down and try to raise your leg alone and try to support your backside of hip with hands and try to make up your hip. That's all. Hold it for few seconds, 2 minutes, as much as possible by you, and do a normal breathing. That's all. Then after that you relax, come to the original position, just like that. How you went up, come down, come back again. That's all. This is Viparita Karani. Okay. Any doubts here so far? Anyone has done this already? Anyone has? Oh, good. Okay. So anyone during childhood you played just like putting pillow and something like? Okay, good. Okay. So here when you do this for your research work, right, this will be very much useful. So all these things you can't see the results directly, but indirectly these will help for your brain health. Okay, that asana. Yeah, this is an interesting asana, which is what to say, when you start the day, right? So you can simply start by unknowingly we will be doing this, but this has been presented as a asana itself, right? Okay. When you do this, doing this is also very simple. We all might be knowing. Simply raise your hands and your heel up, toes down, stretch, and start doing the breathing, right? Just observe the breathing and try to hold in that position as much as possible by you. That's all. Then you relax, come down. So this gives you lot of your focus. When you try to do this, it gives you lot of focus, and stability. Okay, so these are the basic asanas we design. Another one is Ardha Matsyendra Asana. Okay, this also this is a stretching asana. This is very much useful for multiple reasons, multiple benefits. Okay, the very first point is it is a stretching that is given to the back, so your spine gets benefit. Okay, and the another benefit is all the royal vital organs like liver, spleen, pancreas all get benefited. Okay, you are touching that, crushing that. Okay, with this, and what happens, all those things start functioning well. Your spleen, which is very much important for your blood count, and pancreas for your diabetic problem, and liver for everything, right? So this simple asana, if you do this, this will help you to rule out any kind of digestion related issues as well as backside issues. This will be helpful for your future, not only for shorter time, for a longer time this will be useful. This is Ardha Matsyendra Asana. Okay, any doubts so far with asanas? Okay, all right. So you might have noticed very simple steps only I have presented. Those asanas you can very well try to follow. If you feel even difficult, the only one what you can do is sun salutation, that is Surya Namaskar. That is very simple. You can what to say, you can approach a master, and this will take only 5 to 10 minutes, but the benefit out of it is if you do a 1 hour workout, that will be equal to this. Okay, very much time saving asana, that is Surya Namaskar. There are 12 steps given here, right? Simply it starts with the hand raise, back bend, then kneel down, and all these things, very only 12 steps. So anyone has followed this, had done this already? Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, cool. Next. So the benefits, you can just see psychological, lot of psychological benefits here. It works on the endocrine glands, primarily on the thyroid gland. It helps. So stress, anxiety, depression, all those things are relieved. Cardiovascular problems are rectified. Brain-related problems are solved. Then it tones up your nervous system. Okay. So for all those things, you need this Surya Namaskar, a single one, but 12 steps, but within very short span of time, you can achieve what you want. Okay. Yeah, so we have seen the pranayama 3 types, and in that minimum one you have to follow. That will help you with a lot of energy. And another is asanas. I have listed 7 asanas, and in that at least 2 to 3 if you follow, it will be great. And even though though you feel you cannot do, at least Surya Namaskar you can try. Okay. Now another part of yoga is mudras. Okay. So when we try asanas, we do with mudras. That also we have seen Shanmukhi Mudra and Vishnu Mudra. So these things we have seen. But apart from that, we have general mudras. We started practicing mudras from our birth, even before birth itself. Anyone can guess what I mean? We have started practicing mudra even before birth. Anyone can guess? Yes. Yeah, what is this called? So when we were there in our mother's womb, we hold our hands like this and like this, right? So this is called Adi Mudra, the first one. We started practicing, meaning the other way. We have been doing this, and the yoga specialists, they have taken that as a pose and they presented it as a mudra, Adi Mudra. Okay, why? Even now we can practice that. Adi Mudra we can practice it. This way, if you practice this, you will get a secure feeling. How you were feeling in your mother's womb, so the same kind of feeling you will get. That is Adi Mudra. I have not put it here. That is Adi Mudra, right? Okay. Similarly, there are a lot of asanas, very basic thing that can be useful to audience here, I am listing out few, some of. The one is Dhyan Mudra, that is Sukhasana, you sit, Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra, you do simple breathing observation. That should suffice. Okay, the first one. Second one is Agni Mudra. Ring finger, you do like this. Sit comfortably and keep your hand, both hands on your thighs and just observe your breathing. That's all. So the benefits, all the brain related, their mind calming, stress, anxiety, depression, everything gets nullified here with the single Agni Mudra. Very simple. Hold like this and keep it on your thighs. That's all. Do it for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Right. Another one is Linga Mudra. So Linga Mudra is very much popular. Even from IIT, they have done a research on this during COVID times, and there was a success rate, a very good success rate. Even you can Google it and understand. There was a research done in IIT, Chennai IIT only, and they proved it that practicing this Linga Mudra improves the COVID patients to recover back fastly. Okay, so this increases the heat energy in the body and nullifies the germs outside bodies, and it helps to recover faster. Okay, that is Linga Mudra. This is very simple to hold like this, as it is shown in the picture. Okay, and Apana Vayu Mudra. This is another important mudra. This is a combination of two mudras. One is Vayu Mudra, that is like this. Your index finger here. This Vayu Mudra, and this is Apana Mudra. And you combine both. This is Apana Vayu Mudra. Okay, so what the benefit is here? This is otherwise called heart mudra. You can understand what it means. Okay, when you have a palpitation kind of thing or BP related problems or some kind of uncomfort, tensive situation, you can follow this. Do this like this and sit comfortably and keep the hands on your thighs. Maybe 15-20 minutes. You can certainly observe that your mind gets calmed, your blood rate might have reduced. Okay, so this is very much important. You can keep it, you can Google it. If you want, you can consult any yoga therapist and follow this. This is very much useful. Okay, and another one is Swasa Kosa Mudra. Swasa Kosa Mudra, the name itself is indicating that this is something helpful related to our breathing, swasa. So for lungs, this is beneficial. The patients who with asthma related or any breathing related issues, they can follow this. Doing this is also steps is very simple. Hold the fingers like this. That's all. Hold like this and keep it on your thighs. Do it for 10 to 15 minutes, morning and the evening. If you get any lung related problem, you may be having it, or in future due to seasonal problems, you may get lung infection. That time you can very much follow this. This will be certainly helpful. Swasa Kosa Mudra and Lotus Mudra. Okay, this is lotus here means the picture is very simple, but doing this is a little hard. Okay, how you have to do this? You have to hold like the hands like this and expand your fingers like this, and at the same time you just notice there should not be any gap here, like this should not be. It should be very, very much close. Okay, and you hold this for 1 minute and slowly come back like a lotus flower, how it blossoms and how it shrinks. Okay, the same way you have to do. Very slowly you have to do. I am doing it faster. Then hold it for some time. Do this again. So do this for 5 times or 10 times. If you do this before sleep time, you will certainly get very good sleep. You can practice it even today. Those people who are having insomnia, right, sleeping problem, they can very well try When they are going to bed, they can do this for 2-3 minutes and they will get very good sleep. Okay, that is lotus mudra. And prana mudra. Prana mudra is by name itself, this increases your energy. When you become very lazy, you feel very lazy, that time you can improve your energy by doing this. This is also good for your eyesight. Okay, another one is Sunya mudra. Yeah, this is again good for your all mind related problems. Problem means it strengthens your mind. Next please. Okay, so another very important and single mudra for specifically for you is this Hagini mudra. This is specifically works on your brain. So you might have noticed people in the media when they have a conference or discussion, they will be doing like this. So this increases your thinking capability, the data retrieving from your brain that gets faster, right? So you can do this explicitly, separately for 5-10 minutes, or whenever chance gets, even during times like this, you can do like this. Okay, this will be very much useful for you guys. Yeah, so with respect to yogas, with respect to yoga, we have seen 3 things. One is pranayama, asanas and mudras. So what are all the possible, I have given you some kind of awareness on these areas. If you certainly follow this, you will get a lot of benefits. Thank you. I think Suganthi will continue.
So, the last topic for today, emotional intelligence. How many of you have heard of the term emotional intelligence? Okay, good. Only 1, 2, yeah, 3? Great. So, what do you think emotional intelligence is? Basically, handling our emotions, managing and regulating our emotions well, right? That is emotional intelligence. Yeah. Especially in this journey, you will be needing a lot of emotional resilience and all, because you might be undergoing negative emotions most of the time. So you will have to be self-aware of what emotion you're facing, and you will have to channelize it in a positive way, because we all know our thoughts influence our emotions and our emotions influence our behavior, right? So there are 4 components in emotional intelligence actually. First one, self-awareness. That is, you have to be aware of what kind of emotion you are undergoing, and you have to self-regulate. That is, you shouldn't like act on impulsiveness or something. You have to manage your emotions in a better way. Third one is empathy. Again, what is empathy? Okay, so what's the difference between sympathy and empathy? Exactly. Sympathy is like feeling pitiful for someone else. Empathy is standing in someone else's shoes and thinking from their point of view. So you have to develop empathy in this journey, because like you might be needing that to comfort your peers as well, and also your peers might need it to comfort you in terms of need, right? Fourth one is social skills. So be it with your superiors or in your personal relationships or with your peers, you will have to maintain a better communication. That is, as I already said, you will have to be assertive, say no at times when you have to say no, maintain a proper communication, be open, be honest, be genuine, and the problem solving and conflict resolutions. Always think from some other person point of view also. You have to take their perspectives as well, and you have to think from their position while involving in a conflict resolution, right? So these are all the points about emotional intelligence. Next slide. So these are some of the practices to enhance your emotional intelligence. The first one, self-awareness, that is journaling. Whenever you're undergoing some kind of emotion, you can journal it. That is, you can write it down, why you're feeling that kind of emotion, what triggered you to go into that kind of emotion, etc. So that when the next time similar kind of trigger happens, you can manage it in a better way than before. So self-regulation, again, we already saw this, mindfulness, deep breathing. Empathy development, perspective taking, we have already saw this. Social skills, assertiveness, obviously, all done. We don't have time for this journal, so we'll go into some of the self-explanatory, self-care and lifestyle betterment practices, right? Healthy diet, time and nature, activities which you love to do the most, digital discipline, obviously, specific strict time for digital things, and think in a holistic way, that is incorporate for both physical, emotional as well as mental wellness, right? uh, Learning new, yeah, obviously try to keep learning new things, maybe a new instrument or a language or anything, so that your mental your brain keeps developing each and every moment. So practice positivity. So these are some of the brain boosting foods.
Uh, just I want to touch upon this point here. So when we come to lifestyle modifications, I will take just 2 minutes. Sorry, excuse. Okay. Many of us know, like even doctors are here. The reason for our health problems, like both mental and physical, there are 3 problems basically. So one is in the morning duties, right? Cleansing your colon, and not taking enough water during daytime, and not taking enough sleep. These are the very basic things that causes any kind of illness. Okay, fine. For that, what we have to do, we have to follow the better lifestyle. We have to return to the nature. We have to follow, even though with science we are growing very lot, right? But at the same time, we are keeping away from our nature. We are keeping away. We are going away from nature. So we have to come back to nature with respect to living styles. Okay, and here what I have put is, for brain, there are certain foods that might be suitable for you guys, that you can often consume. That will be very good. So one is white lotus, that is Vendamarai. So that is very good for your brain. You can consume it any form. One easy form is like a kashayam you have to do. Simply put it, 2 glasses of water, heat it, reduce it to off, then drink. In that you have to put siraham, I don't know, or one more sadagupa is there, any one you can put it, and boil it and drink it. This one, right? Another one is vallare. Vallare you can take it in any form, like vallare tovayal you can take, or even like kasayam also you can take. Tablets are also there. So, but vallare you have to be careful that you should not consume for a long time. You should do it maybe for, if you take a capsule once a day, just to take it for 15 days or 20 days, should be fine. After 3 months, you can do the same, right? For this, you consult a doctor. See the doctor or anyone you can consult and take this. This is very much useful for your brain health. Not only for brain health, your heart health also this is good. This vallare has the capability to break down all your fatty content in the bloodstream. Okay, next. Yeah, I think the same points what we have seen so far, that has been highlighted here. Thank you so much for your listening and understanding. If you want to share any feedback, 1 or 2 persons can give. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope you had a lot of understanding about emotional intelligence and other important topics, because no research will have ups and downs. So we thought this session is of more useful to you, because you have to overcome a lot of barriers. Okay, you should know how to burst your stress. Fine. Thank you. So once again, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.